probably about to hit Legend if I win this game, and right now it's the beginning of the game, but I'm in a great position so far. So, unless something goes terribly wrong, I should hit Legend right here. And this is I'll show the deck. What's out here? There we go. I'll put the deck tracker on. Oh, shit. Yeah, I mean, I already Potion of Madness is Cabal Lackey that he pointed out, so he was basically screwed, and then I deathed that guy. And I mean, he didn't know, but I had Raza and Anduin to play on curved out, and then I had the Gluttonous Ooze there to destroy his weapon if he was going to get demons out that way, so he literally had no way to win. So yeah, it was kind of a struggle hitting Legend this month at the end. I mean, I only tried at the end here because I was just screwing around and having fun with the new expansion. At the first week, obviously, there wasn't an expansion. I wasn't really playing, and then so all the ranking up was done while I was messing around with decks, and then I only really tried to hit Legend in the last like half a week here. So yeah, this deck is the I think it's the best deck right now. Just like pretty vanilla-ish Raza deck. The differences that I have in it right now are I'll go to the deck list is none here, so I'll just go into my collection and kind of explain this. I mean, yeah, see, whoops. Yeah, so I mean, I just hit Legend with that game. And then for most, I mean, I messed around with a secret Togwaggle deck to get from like rank 5 to 4 for the most part, but then I started getting more serious, and I did like half rank with the Q block that I just beat, and then the rest of the way I got with this, pretty much this deck. I'm 34-20 is my win rate with this deck, so 63% win rate, and I change it depending on how the meta was fluctuating, but this was overall the best version. That was the most consistent. There were some versions that were streaking better, but then they had lost streaks. So actually, most of the time I didn't have Mind Blast in this version for most of those like 50 games. Because it's actually not needed, and the only reason I added it in was for the Jade Druid matchup. The new Jade Druid just gains armor really fast and heavy, so you literally can't beat them with the deck unless you have Mind Blast. And well, you can. Like I did, I won one of those games, but for the most part, that made me put Mind Blast in, which makes your aggro matches worse because it's the only time you'll ever get use out of it is to combo with Wild Pyromancer, or if you can like suddenly finish them in the end of a close game. But usually you're either blowing them out or they're killing you early. But yeah, so yeah, that was one of the differences I had in the deck. The other difference is not many people have running Golakka Crawler, and this has been really strong for me. I took when I did take it out to try and put in the what's it called, the Glimmer Root. Yeah, I don't have Glimmer Root, which is the other big change. And like I put Glimmer Root in instead of the Crawler, but the Crawler is just so good against Paladin and Rogue. It's especially like if you hit their South Sea Captain, that's really huge. But even you don't even have to do that. Just on turn 2, even killing a 1/1 Patches, if that's all that's left. But usually you'll get a South Sea deckhand. You hit that, and you got a 2-mana 3/4. It's basically, it's the old Totem Golem with no overload, so it's just ridiculous. And that just alone fights for the board really well against the aggro. And I mean, of course, you already have all the other stuff you know about, like Potion Madness and all that. And then yeah, so like and I also took out Loot Hoarder because there's a lot of mirror matchups, and Loot Hoarder worse than a dead card in the mirror. It draws your opponent a card most of the time because they just steal it and then hit in. And that's the same thing with Bloodmage Thalnos, but that, at least with Bloodmage, you can hold it and use like Spirit Lash in the same turn for like extra damage or healing, or just like hold one card. But then that means in the mirror with that and Loot Hoarder, you have 2 dead cards, because a lot of people cut Novice Engineer for instead of Loot Hoarder, but with this, it can't be. They can't steal your card draw. They can't silence your card draw, and you also get the card instantly without having to hit your own minion with a spell. And then I also like more commonly people are taking out Acolyte of Pain, and I don't have that either. So it seems like I don't have as much card draw as other ones, which is why I did put Glimmer in, because I have a little bit less card draw for the mirror. But I also have Mass Dispel, which was seeing a little bit of play, but got taken out, and I think it's really good. It's just strong, and silences in general is just so strong in this meta. And this is really good against Paladin and the Warlocks right now, and it's pretty good against Rogue. It's just pretty good in general. Like, so that makes up for one of the card draws I took out, and realistically, the Acolyte of Pain usually only draws 1 card anyway. So for 1 more mana, you get a card draw also, and you silence multiple minions. So that's been strong for me too. And then other than that, it's pretty much everything normal in a Raza deck. I had a different version here that now I'm going to try out a little more again, now that I've hit Legend and mess around. But this one, like, I cut out like the Pint-Size, Shadow Word Horror, that kind of stuff, and the Auchenai Circle, like the 2-card combinations, because since those aren't as consistent, I don't like those as much as it is, but they are really strong. But this one, I added in like a 4-dragon package. Like it doesn't seem like enough to get Draconite Operative and Dustbreaker off and this guy consistently, but since your draw is so heavy in this deck, it actually does still go off like almost as consistently as a full dragon package regular dragon deck, because you have so much more draw. And there are games where like Draconite Operative is just getting played onto the board as nothing, or like you have to use the Twilight Acolyte on something weak, but usually it's pretty good. This deck was doing really strong too, but just because like Aggro Paladin was becoming so popular, I thought going with the Shadow Word Horror, just Shadow Word Horror alone, is worth it. And then oh yeah, actually there's Dirty Rat. Like I was cycling that in and out too of the regular version, and that it actually performs strong right now, but it was just like I couldn't find room for it. I either have to to put it in, you have to either cut a Golakka Crawler or a weapon removal. Like, yeah, so like even if I played this, like weapon removal is really good right now. Like it's just you can't. I feel like you can't play the deck without weapon removal because of the Warlock deck, because like that deck can actually beat you if you don't have weapon removal, but if you do, it basically can't beat you. And yeah, this one was a little more fun too, because Draconite Operator gets you a choose spell from their deck, and this card's new, and so you have like a few new cards. And then Drake I just added as like to make up for some of the clear I took out, and it's a taunt and it's a dragon, so it meets all those requirements. Like I would have liked a cheaper dragon in this deck, like a cheaper minion, but that one just makes up for like all the gaps that were taken out. Yeah, so yeah, that's it. And then I'll just show this one last time, the one that I actually hit Legend with at the end here. And this is the end of the season, so people are kind of try-harding right now. So it was like I kept bouncing back and forth between 1 and 2 for like a few days, and I was like, I was 1 game away from, or 2 games away from Legend, and then I went on tilt, and then I was like switching decks constantly. I had like 7 different decks that I kept switching between, like different classes. And luckily I didn't like D-rank too much. I hit rank 3 actually, but yeah, alright, and then yeah, that's it.